Good morning, everyone. My name is Louise from Clarity Crafts here in the UK. Welcome to Groovi Tuesday. Hope everybody is well. It's been a little bit of a chilly start today, a bit overcast. No sun yet. 2 more days to go until Christmas. How's everybody getting on with their Christmas shopping? Have you done it all? Is it finished? Can you now relax? It's a shame because there's such a build up every year for Christmas. And then it gets to the day and afterwards you're just like, oh, but it's worth it because the day is lovely. You spend time with your family and things like that. So it's an important day. I love Christmas. I always strive every year to try and keep the magic of Christmas alive that I had as a child, just to help the mood, I think. But definitely in January, I think when everything stops and you finally rest, and then there's that January and February until you get to spring, it can always be a couple of hard months, which is why we've got our courses coming up in January and February to keep everybody entertained and bits, but I'll talk about those in a little while. But I thought I'd just have a little ramble on until all our friends come into the room. Sound is good, thank you, Jane. Oh, do you like the jumper? Yes, all Christmassy. I thought I'd make an effort for the Christmas spirit. Last Groovi Tuesday of the year. So yeah, it's been a really great year. I've had so much fun. Best work year of my life, I think. It's just been from the beginning to now. It's just, it's every crafter's dream kind of, and teaching Groovi to everyone. It's a teaching, I think I never kind of set out in my adulthood to be a teacher, but I've really enjoyed it. I was always quite a shy person growing up, even as a teenager. So it took me a little while to get into it, but now I just love it. And just being able to share my knowledge, I find it really it makes me feel good that I'm teaching all of you lovely friends at home, things that you might not know yet. There's so much knowledge out there with Groovi and parchment and traditional parchment, all of the skills needed. There's so many different painting techniques and whatnot. So it's really, really lovely to be able to share my knowledge. But Jane's going to be in the room with you today. So if you have any questions, Jane will be there to help, and anything that she'll be able to feed through to me as normal. Yeah, I'm very festive today, getting into the Christmas spirit. 2 more days to go. I'm spending Christmas with my dad this year, and then my mum next year. But it's going to be a really nice Christmas day. We've got lots planned, and on the Saturday, we're going to go shopping after Christmas and have a look around the shops and everything. So we've got so many things lined up, and then a nice little Boxing Day walk in the woods and things like that. It's lovely to just spend time with my dad and my stepmom. So it's going to be a really lovely Christmas. I'm really looking forward to it. But yeah, so it's just been a really brilliant year. Hope everybody else has had a really fabulous year with crafting, and it's just such a relaxing craft, I find, with Groovi and parchment. I mean, any kind of crafting, it's very mindful. It gets you out of the everyday hustle and bustle, and then you just get into your head and you're just focusing on what you're doing. And whether you're stamping or die cutting or Groovi, colouring, anything, it just takes you out of everyday life, out of seeing all the news in the world and everything. You just get all nice and in the groove or in the stamping business. So but yeah, so I thought I've got a few things to talk about, and also I managed to finish my next Groovi Tuesday project. So I did that before Christmas because I thought then we know what we're going to be doing next year. We have a little bit of colouring to do today, and then after Christmas, the first Tuesday of the year, I'm going to just finish off the border of this project, because I thought, even though it's a Christmas card, the border's universal, and I wanted to show you how to do the border. So we just have this day, and then the next Groovi Tuesday will be the last week. And then I have actually prepared the next Groovi Tuesday project. So I thought I'd show you that in a little while, just to, if you wanted to follow along, there's a little trick that I'm going to use, which has been really, I enjoyed using that technique. So I wanted to share that one with you. I was going to mention yesterday, Barbara in the shack, she was doing these really lovely, they were baubles a couple of weeks ago. And then yesterday, Barbara made them into little balloons. So she was saying about the stencil, that you have all these different little circles in it, which I'll show you here. Barbara was saying that Jazz was going to do her magic and prepare a mask to go with the stencil, which of course Jazz has done. So I will bring you these. So this is the stencil that Barbara was talking about. So that's 00282. These are brilliant little for like Barbara's done. Baubles, balloons, you know, these are really lovely little orbs, anything really. And then this is the matching mask to go alongside it. So this is 31946. So if you wanted to get the matching mask, that is the number for those. So yeah, because Barbara's going to say that she was going to get that sorted for you. So ta-da, as if by magic. But yeah, so those are the items for yesterday's shack. So you can use these for. I've really enjoyed the last couple of weeks with the shack, learning how to do the baubles and the balloons with just like a circle mask. And I do love this stencil. And the other one, I think it's got a big circle in the middle with little circles come off of it. I think there's 6 stencils. There's a flower, there's stars. Barbara was showing those yesterday. They're really good as well. So yeah, so that's that. So the next thing I wanted to talk about is, let me just bring it up. So next January, I was saying, you know, we want to get into the into a little bit of parchment in January to kind of boost our mood. And this is as much for, you know, us as for everyone else as well. You know, it's good to focus on something, and I'm going to really enjoy teaching you how to use the dry pencil technique on parchment using these really lovely plates. I fell in love with these when I saw them, and I said to Barbara, we were talking about workshops and things, so I said, oh, can I use these for a dry pencil technique workshop? And she said, of course. So that is what we're going to be using in that course. So if you wanted to give it a go, I've created a project already, and it's using a couple of these and some of the leaves and everything. So this is 60231. So I'll go over the general. There's a few different techniques of dry pencil. We'll learn a few different techniques, and then we will use that on a piece of artwork. But it's a nice technique to use, and it can be used for parchment or anything else. You know, once you mastered kind of dry pencils, you can use them on colouring books, on your stamping projects. You know, so there's so many things that open up to you once you know how to do it. So that's that. And also, she says, oh, that's the date. So Saturday, 24th of January, it's going to be 9 till 12. And we're going to stop for a little break, and then 2 till 4. So that would be a really lovely Saturday, I think. And don't forget, you can watch it back anytime if you can't make the Saturday. So, and then on the product now, we do have an ingredients list. So if you order this from now on, I think Paul puts this in the, you know, in the parcel, but it's ready for you to just check what you need. If you need anything, use all of these. So also I recommend, I'm not sure if it's on here because let's have a look. Oh yeah, the essentials, because we're going to use the cream and a few other pencils in the essentials as well. The cream pencil is really nice with greens to make these really lovely leaves. So that is the ingredients list. So I thought I'd better mention that, because that's something that I know a lot of people have been asking for last year, or this year rather. saying that they wanted a dry pencil workshop. So that is there. And then these are the lovely plates that we're going to use alongside it. So we've got, there is a trio. So these are available in stamps as well. They're really lovely in stamps. So you have the, hold on, let's use that one here. So you've got these two are going to be the ones that we're going to use in the Enhanced Pencil Work course. I love these words as well. They're so useful. So a couple of these flowers and this flower I'm going to use as well. So we're going to be using both plates. If you wanted the trio, it also comes with this really lovely holly plate. So that is really nice for Christmassy cards and everything. So that's, if you wanted the trio, that's the number 42594. And then these are the individual numbers for each plate if you wanted them. But these are going to be the two plates that we're going to use in the Enhanced Pencil Work course. Okay, so that's that part. We've got a few things to get through before we get into the colouring, I'm afraid. But we're nearly there, I promise. So, let me come back to the first thing. So for the first, so we're going to continue with our project, which I'll show in a minute, and we'll continue with that one. But I wanted to show you the next Groovi Tuesday project. So for this one, I thought I'd mention the sticky ink has come back into stock. So anybody that pre-ordered, those orders are going out or have gone out for the sticky ink. It came in earlier this week or late last week, one of the two. So I thought it'd be a good chance to use that. We're going to use the Barbara's Bijou Alphabet A4 plate for this. And I've also used the Framework Squares A4 square plate. But I thought I'd show you the card before I show you the bits that we're going to use. So let me come in a little bit. So this is next Groovi Tuesday project. Let me come in a little bit more. So I've used the 4 letters, so I've put love. So I thought if you are going to have a card for Valentine's Day, we're going to be doing this during January. So it will be ready if you've got a Valentine's card that you want to send. But I've used the gold foil on the letters. So it makes like an illuminated alphabet, you know, like you see in old historical books and storybooks and things like that. So that is using the sticky ink. Or you can use a Cricut glue pen, but you can use sticky ink with a mapping pen and just work your way around. And I've also done little dots around the pink card. And we've used in the wing tool around the outside, which I've done little hearts in as well. A little bit of freehand embossing in the background there as well. You do a little bit of Dorso crayons in the background just to give a hint of different colours behind. So you've got the little, you can see like a hint of blue there, and there's pink and purple. But that is using the gold foil, which is a lot of fun. So it's just the gold foil that we have here. So it's just this one. And we're going to use it in conjunction with the mapping pen and the sticky ink. If you wanted to, you don't have to do the gold foil as well. So there's the gold foil, which is 31809. And then we've got the silver one, which would look really, really nice as well, which is 31810. And then you've got the lovely rose gold as well, which is the 31811. So those are all really beautiful colours, but I've used the gold. So if you wanted to create the gold illuminated alphabet, which we've used here, then that's the one that I'm going to use. And you get 2 meters in this, so you get a lot of, you know, and most of you will have gold foil at home because you love to do the gold foiling, the hot foiling kits. So that's that part. And then I've used this plate here, which is it's A4 size. So you've got the whole alphabet, obviously. And that's 42081. In this, with this plate, it comes with this as well at the back. So it shows you what each flower is. So if you wanted to look on the you know, on the internet to see what colours they should be, so you can do exactly the same colours, or you can make up your own colours. It doesn't have to be the same colours as what you want. But that is the bijou alphabet plate. And then just to create the distance between the two, I've used the framework squares, the A4 square plate, which is 40721. So apart from that, the main ingredients that you'll need for this card, if you wanted to follow along with me next year, would be the gold foil, the bijou alphabet plate, and this is the wing tool here if you wanted to create a little heart border there. But apart from that, those are the main things, and the dorsal crowns and your dorsal and bits and pieces like that. But I thought that would be a really fun thing to do in January, just with the gold foil and a bit of sticky ink, and I thought that would be really fun. So I thought, and it's nice upbeat card to do. And the lovely thing is with some of these flowers is you can create little different patterns on the orchid if you wanted to make it like all the different orchids you can see. I love the blue orchids that you see in shops sometimes. They're really pretty. I love blue flowers. But yeah, so that's what we're going to be doing next time. So those are the bits and pieces that you would need if you wanted to follow along. I think the gold foil really looks really nice with the illuminated letters and everything. Just reminds me of old storybooks. So, but yeah, so those are the main bits and pieces that you'll need for that one. So, and then you have the sticky ink, which I'll show you. So if you just want an extra bit of sticky ink, this was on pre-order and now it's available. So that's 70134. And then you have the mapping pen, which is 70039. So those are what we'll need for the gold foil technique. And then if you wanted the whole caddy with the dorsal oil, pergo glue and the sticky ink, all fill up, it's 31828. So those are those bits. We've got all those bits out of the way. It's just things that I wanted to mention, and I wanted to get the Groovy Tuesday project done before Christmas, just in case anybody did want to follow along and needed the bits and pieces, they could get it by the time. Because the first one back, I'll be doing this normal project, and then we'll continue the following week after that with the new project. So yes, so that's that. So I've done a little bit of talking now and I'm worn out. You know, when you're breathless a little bit. So I'm going to have a cup of tea before we start. Has everybody done their Christmas shopping now? Is everybody all set? I know Jane said she's all set. She's done her. Jane was at the shops 5 o'clock this morning. I was still asleep. But yeah, it's probably best to do that at 5 o'clock in the morning because there's going to be hardly anybody there. Lovely. So let's get started. So we're continuing with this project here. That's this one. So like I said, when we come back, we'll do the border. But today we're going to focus on the colouring, which is fun. I love to do a little bit of colouring. So yeah, so this is what we're planning to do, and we got here so far. So we've done all of our white work. I've done a little bit of white work on the coat and a little bit on the hat, and I did the candles as well. So that's all more or less done, ready for colour. So let's get started. Let me put that there just so that I can see it. Okay, so I'm going to work on the back for now. And what I thought I'd do is, because it's the lightest colour and because I want to do the lighter ones first, I'm going to do the light and the lantern. I'm going to work behind because then we can put a little bit of colour over the top. But it's really just a very, because we can put colour on the front for the lantern. I'm just doing like a little yellow orb around the light. So lovely to see some of our friends are in the room. I am occasionally looking up to see the chat and everything. I don't want you to. It's just nice to just spend the last little Groovy Tuesday before before we go on our Christmas holes. There we go. So we've got a basic of colour there. That's the yellow. So that was the B8. What I might do is I might use a tiny little bit of the orange, which is the B10, just around the candle. Now what we can do now is I'm just going to use a little bit of door soil just on my little spot on sponge. I always say I'm going to bring in my door soil that I have from home, and I always seem to forget. So yeah, I've just put a little bit of a spot on there. That's the dried one, but a little spot there because I'm just going to just douse the candle and the lantern, and I'm just using circular motions. You can blend that all in. Okay. Okay, so we've got a nice little glow there. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to bring in a bit more door soil, and then I'm just going to blend out around that. And then what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to get a tissue, roll it up like a little icing bag, and I'm just going to blend it a bit more with the tissue because it kind of diffuses it a little bit, so it looks more like a glow than more of a yellow. There we go. There we go. I'm going to put a little bit more yellow back on because I've taken a bit off. There we go. Got a bit carried away with the dorsal. That's better. There we go. So we've got a nice little glow coming out from the lantern. It looks a bit more yellow to eye than it does on the camera. There we go. And then we'll do the same with the tissue, I think, with the light. There we go. Nice little glow. And then just blend it. Just using a dry bit of the tissue just to blend the outside a little bit. So then we have our light. So that has made everything a little bit brighter. What I'm going to do is because I'm working on the yellow, I'm just going to, so there's all the lights on in the house. There's some festivities going on in there somewhere. So I don't need to worry about the electricity bill because it's Christmas. So all the lights are on. There we go. Yeah, I finally finished all my Christmas shopping as well. So I'm all set. And I have, this year I've done a little bit of a crafty Christmas present for my some of my family. So I can't say exactly what because they might be watching. So I can't say anything. I think it's really nice. Sometimes they'll watch and go, "Oh, I saw your Groovi Tuesday the other day." I'm like, "Oh, that's cool." Okay, so I'm going to bring in another blending nib just for. I've just put a little bit of the white, so the B1, around the moon. I know I got I thought I'd be really festive today. So I look like somebody's thrown a bucket of Christmas at me today. Got snowflakes in my hair and a nice Christmas jumper. I thought I'd get really festive for the last Groovi Tuesday. So I've got a nice cup of tea. Which is already getting cold. Yummy. Okay, so we've done our little moon. So it's only like a little glow from the moon. So I thought what we'll do is we'll work our way from the top to the bottom now. So I thought I'll do the sky next. So what I'm going to do for the sky is I'm going to bring in colours B4 and B5. If you have the polychromos, you could always use, hold on, let me grab them. This is the winter set. So let me see, you've got you could use which one's this one? That's the violet. You could use the violet. And you could use, that's a nice one, the ultramarine, which is 120. So, because you only need a little bit, and then you can use the dorsal. Or in the spring set, they got a nice blue as well, actually. That's a nice blue. That's the light ultramarine. So you could use the two at the same time, actually. You could use the ultramarine for the top of the sky, then work it into the light ultramarine, and then work it into the nice violet colour. But I thought I'd use the B5 and the B4. But those are the colours that I would use if I was using the polychromos. Okay. So I'm literally just doing just a tiny bit of the violet just around the houses, because obviously we're going to put a bit of blue on the snow. So you don't want the sky disappearing into the snow and then it all look in the same colour. So I thought I'd just do a violet just to break it up a little bit. Yeah. And then going into the blue. Once you've used the dorsal, it will the colour won't look as strong, which is cool. I'll work around the outside of the holly too. There we go. So I'm not going over the yellow. Otherwise we'll get the northern lights, we'll get a little bit of a green sky. Mind you, I bet that's fun, making the sky look a bit like it's got northern lights in it. There we go. So, put a little bit more blue there. There we go. So we've got our sky. So I'm going to come in with my blending nib. A little bit of dorsal. So I'll work upside down, I think. There's everybody going, well, you usually do, Louise. You usually do work upside down. I don't know why I do it. I think maybe because I think I'm teaching someone. When I used to do my little Groovi workshops years and years ago now, I probably used to do that. I used to have it upside down to show some of our lovely my lovely friends from the Groovi project. Maybe that's why I do it. I don't know. I'm just like that. Just a bit bananas. There we go. So I'm just working my way up. More dorsal. I'll work around the light first, I think. Just because then before the dorsal dries, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in with my tissue and kind of break up that line a little bit, she says. So it doesn't look so stark of blue and yellow. But not to go over it too much, otherwise it's going to look like it's green. There we go. Yeah, that'll be all right. Okay, now I'll continue with the rest of the sky, I think. So it's been a good year. I've had lots of fun. We had the open days and the retreats. They were a lot of fun. Might do the same in a minute with the moon and the blue sky. Smush the colours a little bit together so they don't look so contrasted. There we go. We bring in the tissue a little bit and just blend the moon and the sky a little bit, just so you get rid of that line a little bit. There we go. And work on the rest of the sky. And just blend the rest of the blue sky. Yeah, by the time I finish this, it will, yeah, it will probably be your first Christmas card for next year. But at least we're ahead of the game. Can't say that we're late preparing. I do need to be better prepared next year. I think having that flu kind of knocked me back a little bit. I still think we're in the middle of December. A bit shocking when I realised we've only got 2 days left to Christmas. Don't know how that happened. Like a couple of weeks ago, it felt like it was 100 days to Christmas, and now we're 2 days to Christmas. How did that happen? So I'm just going to blend in a bit more of the purple around the houses and stuff, and just blend that into the sky a little bit. There we go. How's that? Just want to, or is it over this? Yeah, I'm getting myself confused. I'm thinking, why didn't that solve the problem? And it's because it's over here. Just wanted to blend that into the sky a little bit better. There we go. That's better. There we are. So that's sky done. So you've got a little bit of a violet towards the horizon. But yeah, so we're getting there. So we can always. I'm going to come back and do the holly. There's a little bit here I've missed with the blue, I think. There we go. Oh no, that's white. It's going to be blue in a minute anyway. Cool. So we've done the sky. Good morning, Martine. Hope you're well. So now we can do the snow. I just want a hint. Let's use the light blue, I think, for the roof, so that we can see it is different. And I'm not putting that much colour on, because obviously we don't want too much colour because it's the snow. So I'm just going to get tiniest little. This was the light blue, so this was the B16. Or you could use the light ultramarine in the polychromos if you have them. So you may not notice it that much, but it's like an icy blue. You can see a little bit, just so it gives the snow a little bit of colour. Which I'm going to start off, because we've got such a dark sky, I'm going to start off with the light blue, I think. So this is the B16, or the light ultramarine. So I'm going to start off with the light blue, just because it feels a bit more like icy snow. We don't need too much colour really. Because we've got our nice, we know it's snow because we've got the white work that we did last week. So we know that we there we go. I'll do the path as well, because it's still a snowy path. We got a little footsteps in the snow. That was fun. There we go. So I'll get my door soil and just blend the blue now. Yeah, I think that's a good idea, having a lighter blue for the snow, because then we can definitely see the difference. I mean, I have done a dark, I think it's Christmas Eve. I think this is actually called Christmas Eve plate. So that works in well with what I'm trying to say. It's Christmas Eve, and they are putting wreaths on everyone's door and the lamppost, and now they're going home to put out cookies and carrots or a mince pie for Santa Claus. It's getting dark. Mum's going to be calling them in a minute. I mean, that's what I used to do that all the time as a kid. I used to always be playing outside, especially in the winter. I used to enjoy when we used to have snow. I remember there was one Christmas when I was a little girl. We had such a lovely amount of snow. It felt so magical because we had a little, snowball fight and everything, and it was good fun. I mean, I know I shouldn't really wish for snow, because there's a lot of people that would struggle with the snow. But even if it was just a light little dusting, I just think it looks so pretty. I mean, don't get me wrong, I wouldn't want the snow that you had. What was the year? I know a lot of our lovely friends will know, and I watched a programme about it last week. There was a year that we had a lot of snow. It was before I was born, but my mum was telling me about it. Was it in the 70s? There was there was so much snow. I know Jay might tell me. Was it in the 70s? There was so much so that it kind of stopped a lot of things happening. The trains stopped, and there was quite a lot. No, it was before 2010. It was, although we did have a lot of really nice snow in that year. I remember that. But no, this was like, it stopped everything. I think it was in the 70s. And there was just so much. Was it 1963? Oh, I got that wrong then. But yeah, it was so much so that it just stopped everything. People couldn't get into work. Trains had stopped. It caused a lot of disruption. Yeah, I think a lot of you say it's the 60s. It must have been, because yeah, because it was, I think it was, yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, because we were watching it about it. You know, people couldn't get out of their homes. It was that's purple. I didn't want that. Oh, smash it out. There we go. There we are. So we've got our snow. So that, oh no, it's not coloured in properly. See, too much talking. Where's that then? Well, oh, it's over there. Just going to put a little bit of colour down here. But yeah, so yeah, we were watching a programme about it, and I mean, they used to have ice on the Thames, didn't they? Because in Victorian times, they used to skate on the Thames. There's like a little ice age in Victorian times where it was continuous. Imagine being able to skate on the Thames. There's pictures, isn't there, somewhere of like, you know, Victorians skate or Edwardians skating on the Thames. Might put a little bit of a dark blue nearer the bottom of the picture. There we go. Gosh. Yeah, I wish I was around then. I would have loved to have seen all the snow. I mean, I must admit, when I used to be a carer, I didn't want the snow. I thought, oh no, how am I going to get down that country lane with am I going to get down that country? I remember it's about 7 years ago. I was going down a country lane and there was quite a lot of ice and snow. Must have been 2022, 23. There was a bit of snow, and yeah, I was 2022, I reckon. Yeah, there was a little bit of a little bit of snow, and I remember going sideways down this country lane. It wasn't like a steep country lane, but it was steep enough that if you were struggling, then it was a little bit of you would slide down the rest of the hill. You wouldn't be able to stop easily because it was so much of a slant that you would get stuck. But yeah, I just remember going, oh my gosh, I'm going to crash this car. I didn't, luckily, because I managed to steer out right at the end of the country lane before it hit the crossroads. So I was quite lucky with that. What I'm just going to do here is I've got the dark blue here, and I'm just putting the pencil above the snow, and then I'm just kind of like blending it out a little bit with the blending nib. A bit more, I think. There we go. So that kind of like really pronounces the mound of snow. Yes, I knew Jane would know. So 1962 to 63, this was considered the coldest winter since 1740, with deep snow lasting months, freezing rivers, including the Thames, halting transport, causing food shortages, and leading to nearly 90,000 excess winter deaths. That's crazy, isn't it? Okay, I've changed my mind. I don't want snow like that, because I wouldn't want more people to pass away. That wouldn't be nice. But a little dusting, maybe, just to show us it's Christmas. And it is nice, like when you can see it outside the window, it looks very magical. Yeah, like Karen was saying, she likes looking out the window at snow. It looks so pretty. It really does. So I'm just continuing just with a little tiny, you might not need to blend, I'm just going to put it just above the white work. You don't even need to blend it, I think. You just see just this faintest little mark. So now what shall I do now? I've got the brown. Where's brown? There's brown. I'll try and finish this colouring today. So I've got a little bit of brown just for the house and to the side of the house. There we go. Just use a little, where's my blending pen? There it is. Just going to use a little bit of Dulse oil. Just for the building. So I've left that little bit there because I'm going to just put a white pencil over that because I forgot to do the white work for that. But good news is we've got a B1 pencil. And voila, white snow. Easy as that. Okay, so where are we at the moment? So we've done our snow, done our lantern. Let's do the Christmas trees because I have put some white work on the Christmas trees. So all I need to do is just to colour those in. Like that. On there, and at the back there. And then just on the tree. She's got some nice little baubles on the tree. Somebody's been outside and put some nice little Christmas decorations on their outside Christmas tree. There we go. I'm just going to colour that in. It doesn't really matter too much about the colouring of the trees on the back because we've put some white work on there. So when you turn them over, your white work will take precedence. So I'm just going to I've started off with the darker colour at the top and then I'm just blending it to the bottom because again we've put some white work on there. So there we go. Our little Christmas trees. So I think now I'm going to do the little Christmas wreath. I've already done the white work. There we go. I'll smush a little bit of colour in there. There we go. So got a little wreath. I'm just going to colour that one. Like so. There we go. So that's a little wreath. And let's bring in. It doesn't matter so much if, well, it does if you don't want to put the bow on the front like I have with this one. We bring this in. I've put a little bow on the front using one of the Christmas ribbons that we had for the angels. But I am just going to, with the Perg colour pen, I'm just going to colour that in red. You're not really going to see it if you are going to put a Christmas ribbon over the top, but if you're not, then it stands out because it's at the front of the picture and it deserves to stand out. So now I think I'll do the holly. So you've got I'm going to do the red berries. There we go. So this will stand out at the front of the picture. I just realised I need to put some blue around here, because otherwise it can look a bit bizarre. There we go. Where's my nib? There it is. I've got my little nib. I'm going to blend that in. Okay, right. I'm on the hunt for some berries now. So I've got these berries here. So on Christmas Day, what does everybody do? Do you play? When I was a child, we always used to have our stockings first thing in the morning, and then we would have to wait until after our lunch to have our proper presents. But then we would play a board game. Now, when I was younger, the board game that everybody used to play in my family was Trivial Pursuit. I was 6 or 7 at the time, so I had no clue on any of the questions. However, I still played. I moved what's going on with this thing? Hold on. Let me go out again. Go back in. There we go. That's better. It's probably my fault. Yeah, I wouldn't be able to answer any of the questions. You know, they were all geography and history, and at 6 or 7, I was just doing basic maths and where are we on the map sort of thing. So I had no clue, but I still played along, even though I had no clue what was going on. But yeah, Trivial Pursuit was a main game that the family used to play. So I'm going to use the grey pencil, the grey pen, which is where's the number? There we are, number 11. So does anybody else play board games on Christmas Day? Or after Christmas lunch or Christmas dinner, do you go out and for a Christmas Day walk? Or do you watch the Queen's speech and then go to sleep after that because you're so full on food? I've done that several times. I'm just going in with my grey just on the lantern, because the colour is going to come out of the lantern with the glow. So when you see a glow of colour looking at you, you don't always see the colour of the object as much. There we go. So that's that bit. Now we've got the little doggy. Let's do the little doggy. Oh yeah, a walk with your dogs. That's good. I like a good walk with the dogs. We might be having a walk with my dad's dog. We've got a little dachshund, Rolly. He's absolutely so cute. Bit fixated on the ball though. You get a ball out and it's just like, that is all that matters in the world, is his tennis ball. And he loves his tennis ball. Right, so actually what I'm going to do on the front is I'm going to use this pen, number 17, and I'm just doing little flicks of grass coming out from the lamppost. There we go. Just because I fancy doing it, and I've done it on my card here. So just little flicks with your polka colour, just to create a little bit of grass there. So it kind of breaks up the snow a little bit. So that's that part. But yeah, he's absolutely cute. So fixated on that ball, but absolutely a cutie. We have a proper like little wood fire in, not an open wood fire, but it's in like a little chimney stove, and we absolutely love sitting in front of the fire because it's nice and warm. Or he likes sitting on my lap. He's absolutely cute. Okay, so we've got our holly. So I'm just now going to colour in our holly with the Perga colours. Yeah. I mean this one, because it's going to be a fairly small card once it's on its, well, it's not a small card, but it's smaller than the other ones I've done this year. This could either be your next December card if you're doing a calendar, or it could be January's. If you took away the holly, you don't have to do the holly. Well, you do have holly in the winter anyway, so you know, who's to say that? I mean, the wreath obviously is the giveaway. Maybe he's taking them down in January. It can be our story. This can be the first card for January for the calendar, but he's taking all the wreaths down now. And then he put them up a couple of weeks ago. Now he's taking them down. I do love scenes on cards because I love making up a little story. You know, like here he is. He's putting the wreaths out on all the doors. He's getting his little pocket money for doing it as well. Karen said, your mum used to send your brothers out for a walk after having their dinner, especially after they'd had Brussels sprouts. Yes, definitely a wise decision. But yeah, these sessions have been really great. I mean, I might have to finish colouring at some point, and then our next time we'll first Groovi session after Christmas, which will be, I think, the 6th of January. We will create that border, and then we'll be done on this project. Yeah. Has anybody got any New Year's resolutions? Anything that you want to focus on next year? Do you want to do more of something, or be interesting to see? Okay. There we go. That's our holly. We've got 2 more. There we go. And then we are. So yeah, what I'll do is I will just, between now and next time, I'll just finish colouring the little boy and then the dog. So with the, you know, it's not too hard. I've done like a little light brown and dark brown on the doggy, and then just a red and green outfit on a little boy. And then so I'll do that for homework over Christmas, and then we will figure out this border. We'll do that together. So yeah, so that's what the idea will be for next time. So yeah, so that's how far we've got so far. So that's good. So yeah, so we've had a really eventful year. What I thought I might mention, actually, I was going to mention it at the beginning, but I forgot. Next year in January, as you can see down there, my name is Louise Golding, but next year when I come back, it will be Louise Island. I'm going back to my original name that's on my birth certificate. It was my dad's surname, so I'm going back to my maiden surname, because Golding was the name of the family that I used to live with. But now I'm going back to Ireland. So, I mean, that's, yeah, going to be a little bit of getting used to. But yeah, I thought I'd better mention that, because next year, we're in early January, obviously, we'll be launching the open days and the retreats and things. And you might see Louise Island on some of the new bits of information. So you'll be thinking, who's Louise Island? What's happened? But no, I'm having a name change. So that will be why I'll be no longer Louise Golding. I will be Louise Island. So I thought I better mention that, because otherwise it might confuse everybody next year. Why did she change her name? What's happened? I haven't got married or divorced. But yeah, so that's the plan. So thank you so much for such a lovely year and watching over the space of the last 11 months. I think I've been here. I think I started mid-February. So it's been such a lovely year, and I wanted to have the chance now to wish you all a very Merry Christmas, and I hope you have a happy and crafty new year. And I hope that next year, we've got so many plans here at Clarity, starting off with our new courses that we've got planned in January and February. There's a really lovely one from Barbara's one with the Glastonbury tour collage. So that's been popular. So definitely, if you wanted to do a little bit of paper piecing with Barbara and spend a lovely crafty day, you also have that workshop in February. So definitely have a look at those if you wanted to get cracking into a new skill or expand your skills. So definitely those will be lots of fun. So feeling all festive. I'm going to put some Christmas music on in the background while I work, and I have to turn it down when I'm doing the phones. But yeah, going to have a lovely day. We're not in tomorrow, so that's the start of our Christmas holidays. But I do wish you all a very Merry Christmas. I hope you have a lovely New Year. Lots of exciting things to look forward to. So you take care. Thank you so much, Jane, for being in the room and doing everything that you've done over the last however many months when we've been doing Groovi Tuesday. I really appreciate it. Thank you. But yeah, so happy Christmas. Have a lovely time, whatever you're doing. And Barbara will be on at 10 o'clock on Christmas Day to keep you company. If you have a little bit of spare time, she'll be there. So definitely tune in with Barbara on Christmas Day. So yeah, take care, everyone. Happy Christmas. Bye.